somewhere in a research facility in Shenzhen. A team of engineers built a cleaning device with no motor, no suction, and no filter bag. It uses focused acoustic waves instead. And according to a study published in the journal Advanced Materials in late 2024, it removed more than 96% of particulate matter from a test surface in under 2 minutes, without generating a single pascal of negative pressure. No hum, no clog, no filter to replace. If this technology reaches households at scale, the vacuum cleaner sitting in your closet right now, the one that loses suction over time and sends fine particles drifting back into your air, could follow the same path as the carpet beater and the hand-cranked floor sweeper. And the reason goes deeper than the technology itself. It touches a problem this appliance has carried for over a century, one most people never stop to question. Stop for a second and think about how long the suction-based vacuum cleaner has actually existed. The first electric model appeared in 1901. That is more than 100 years ago. The motors got lighter, the filters got denser. Cordless versions arrived, robot versions arrived, but the core operating principle never changed. You generate a pressure difference, and that difference pulls dust and debris from a surface into a container. It's called suction-based mechanical collection. And according to the Global Floor Care Appliance Report, it still accounts for around 92% of all household vacuum units sold globally today. This is not a small market. Global vacuum cleaner sales reached approximately $14.8 billion in 2023, with projections pushing toward $22.3 billion by 2032. China alone produced around 72% of all vacuum cleaner units manufactured globally that year, with major output concentrated in Guangdong and Zhejiang provinces. Brands like Roborock, Dreame, and Ecovacs now ship to more than 100 countries. In other words, this is one of the most quietly dominant industries in home appliances, and it runs on the same mechanical concept it ran on in 1901. That's worth sitting with for a moment. A machine that earns tens of billions of dollars annually hasn't changed its core idea since before the first airplane flew. And that idea comes with a problem most people simply accept without ever naming it. Suction pulls everything inward, which sounds ideal. But the filter sitting between the intake and the motor has to trap particles fine enough to include PM2.5, the particulate matter small enough to penetrate deep into your lungs. Most standard vacuum filters, even HEPA-rated ones, allow some percentage of ultrafine particles to escape during active use. And over time, as the filter loads up with debris, suction pressure drops, efficiency falls, and the motor works harder to compensate. It's a physical limitation built directly into the design itself. Not a manufacturing defect, not a brand failure, just a consequence of how the machine works, living quietly behind the noise. Add the collection problem to that. In bagless models, every time you open the dust chamber, a visible cloud of fine particles releases back into the room. In bag models, replacement bags and filters become a recurring cost that users absorb indefinitely. For people with allergies, asthma, or sensitivity to airborne particulates, the traditional vacuum doesn't always solve the problem it appears to solve. It relocates it. The debris moves from the floor into a container, and some portion of the finest particles moves from the container back into the air you breathe. The industry has known this for decades, and the solutions it offered never fully escaped the original design. Over the past 20 years, manufacturers invested heavily in cyclone separation, multi-stage filtration, and autonomous movement. Robot vacuums automated the navigation. Dyson's cyclone system removed the bag entirely. Water filtration models attempted to trap particles in liquid rather than fiber. Each of those was a genuine improvement, but every one of them still relied on the same fundamental mechanism: pull air through the machine fast enough to drag debris with it. The suction architecture adapted, absorbed new features, and kept growing. It never disappeared, and that's the thing the industry quietly accepted as a ceiling. That's when a research group at the Shenzhen Institute of Advanced Technology, part of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, asked a different question. What if the debris doesn't need to be pulled at all? What if it can be organized and lifted instead? Their approach centers on a phenomenon called acoustic radiation force, the measurable pressure that high-frequency sound waves exert on small particles when those waves are shaped and directed with precision. Think of it like the way a tuning fork held near a thin layer of sand causes the grains to arrange themselves into patterns. Acoustic radiation force does something similar, but at a microscopic scale, using ultrasonic frequencies between 20 and 200 kHz, completely inaudible to human ears. Here's the simple version of how the system works. The device emits directional ultrasonic waves across a surface. Those waves create alternating zones of pressure, technically called acoustic nodes and antinodes. Particles sitting on the surface, whether dust, pet dander, pollen, or fine debris, migrate toward the low-pressure node lines under the influence of that field. Once the particles cluster along those lines, a secondary collection layer, in this prototype a thin electrostatic film, lifts the organized clusters off the surface without generating suction or significant airflow. The study described the prototype achieving a particulate collection efficiency of 96.3% on hard surfaces, with results above 89% on low-pile fabric. The device itself was roughly the size of a standard floor cleaning head. And here's where the application reaches further than your living room. Because the system generates no suction and minimal airflow, it doesn't require sealed filtration to prevent particle escape. That makes it a candidate for environments where conventional vacuums are genuinely problematic. Cleanrooms in semiconductor fabrication, where even minor airflow disturbances can contaminate production runs worth millions. Hospital operating suites, where suction-based cleaning carries real cross-contamination risk. Data centers, where cooling airflow already conflicts with conventional cleaning equipment. The same research group has indicated in follow-up materials that the acoustic electrostatic principle could scale down to handheld surface decontamination tools or expand to large industrial cleaning platforms, all running on the same core design that started as a better way to clean a floor. Before we keep going, I want to ask you something directly. If a device like this were available today, silent, no filter to replace, no suction degrading over time, would that actually change which cleaner you buy? Or does the sound of a vacuum running feel like proof that something real is happening, and silence would make you trust it less? Drop that answer in the comments, and if you're finding this useful, tap the like button and subscribe. Your engagement genuinely matters for the ongoing production of content like this. Now for the straightforward truth about where this technology currently sits. The Shenzhen team's device is a laboratory prototype. No manufacturer has publicly committed to production. No consumer timeline has been announced. Acoustic radiation force, while well documented in physics literature dating back to the early 20th century, has historically been constrained to small-scale lab applications because generating the field intensity needed for meaningful cleaning requires substantial power input. The 2024 prototype addressed part of that through focused transducer array design, but current energy consumption figures are not yet competitive with a standard cordless vacuum on a per square meter basis. The gap hasn't closed. It's narrowed. Deep pile rugs, upholstery, and irregular surfaces also present a harder challenge for acoustic node formation than the hard floors and low pile fabric the published data covers. The electrostatic film layer requires periodic replacement or cleaning, trading one maintenance problem for a different one. None of that negates what the research achieved on the specific bottleneck it targeted. It just means this is a real step forward, not a finished product waiting on a warehouse shelf. The vacuum cleaner in your home right now runs on a concept that predates commercial aviation. And somewhere in Shenzhen, a research team is publishing papers about replacing it with sound and electrostatic fields. That shift, if it continues, will not arrive all at once. It will arrive in niche applications first, in clean rooms and hospitals, in one industry before another, years before it lands anywhere near a consumer store. So here's what I'll leave you with. If a machine that cleans without suction, without filters, and without the noise becomes real, what other appliance in your home do you think is quietly running on a 100-year-old idea that nobody has seriously challenged yet? Leave that answer in the comments. And subscribe if you want to keep following the engineering that's slowly making the ordinary strange again.